watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. In today's culture, that's labeled toxic masculinity. But Scripture reveals the truth. Strength rooted in love is biblical masculinity. Make your choice. Welcome back to the Choice Podcast episode. I'm still on track 53, Josh. I haven't forgot. He's got
53.
4 fingers up. We've got cameras. I assume they're rolling, Matty B.
53 straight hours of jacking our jaws talking about random stuff that makes no sense and trying to tie it into the Bible, whatever that means. We operate on a third grade level, third grade summer school. And we boast that we are not pastors, so we have the right to get it wrong.
That's right. 3rd grade intelligence, 12th grade energy. Let's go.
That's it.
Yeah, and we can't keep anything straight for more than... We can't keep on topic for more than a few seconds or minutes at a time.
Says who?
Yeah, that's right. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, hey, look. We're on the 3rd episode of Season 2, and
But the second episode that we're on video. So that's the new thing. That's our change.
3rd.
Whatever.
We got Matty B on the mixing machine.
Always trying to one-up me. Okay, so
just
it's the
correct
third.
the
It is
record.
the third. It is. You're right.
Yeah, we got... That's right.
You can write that down and put it in your hope chest. I admitted you were right.
Courtesy of Louisiana public school system.
Yes.
Which I guess now that you've said that, we have a couple... So we brought some friends in with us today, Josh.
We got friends with us.
Were we supposed to do something after that? Yeah, we've got 2 new friends here. One of them's on the mic. One of them's not. Here's the thing about it. This is episode 3 and the final episode on change management, leadership through adversity. And I don't think we could have picked a better
this is awesome guest to talk about this topic.
And he brought his friend Tony with him.
Yeah, he did.
Tony chose to not be on mic.
But he will be on camera.
But he's on
he
camera,
is on
and he's
camera.
listening in. He's the moderator, the referee. That's why he's wearing black and white.
He didn't bring a whistle, though.
Did you bring a whistle?
Oh, there you go.
Hey.
Technology to the rescue.
But, man, my friend.
I thought your parole officer said you had to keep that rape whistle on you at all times.
For other people's protection.
Let's just go ahead. We should give, you know how when you watch a movie and it like shows the title and then the whole screen goes green and it usually gives like a PG rating? We should give a PG rating for this episode. Okay, so I'm going to say...
This one will be a little spicier, I think, than the usual.
Adult supervision required.
Yeah.
This is adult supervision.
Let me
required.
pleasantly surprise you.
Unpleasantly surprise you.
Let me pleasantly surprise you.
We've had, so to my left, your camera front, maybe now?
I don't know.
You're right,
I don't
Josh.
know how we say it anymore.
Who knows? We give up. It's got our good friend,
Yes.
Mr. Mike Jernigan, ladies and gentlemen.
In the house.
The guy, this is with the cheers, listen.
Live studio audience.
Live studio, yeah.
Yeah, the crowd went wild for a second. They're doing it again.
So I honestly don't think we could think of a better person to come in and talk through leadership through adversity than him. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But first of all, Mike, our friend, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Buy-in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. We've been talking about this for a while, and let's tell us a little bit. We got some buy-in questions for you, we'll get to. But if you can, bless our listeners with a little bit about yourself, your background, who you are, where you've come from. Yeah, your military service. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mike.
So, I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay, we like
So he's a Florida man.
We like Florida.
I've heard stories about these people.
That's okay.
Wait a minute. No, hang on.
Yeah,
Hang on, Mike. There's a radio
here's what I got to say. All right, this is one thing I'm going to say. All right, I will readily admit I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida, so there is a little bit of white trash running through my veins.
Well, Mike, listen.
All right, like I have been barefoot in a 7-Eleven. All right,
as you should. Who
I
hasn't?
have been shirtless in public numerous
hasn't?
times voluntarily. Okay,
well.
you know, I mean it's Florida.
How many
It's
times
Florida.
involuntarily?
Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Mike, I have a question for you.
I cannot confirm nor
Are
deny
you-
that statement, Senator.
Are you aware there's a radio show in Louisiana? I know you lived there for a while.
I
did
live not far from you, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
They did a morning show there, and they would read off the craziest stories that these people did. And the question was,
So there's a thing
After
called
they-
sunshine laws. Okay, so here's the thing.
Is this real or is this?
This is a real thing. So one of the reasons why Florida man
Sunshine law?
It's got in Florida we call it the sunshine law, right? So why Florida man is such a big deal is because all arrests are immediately published.
Oh.
right? So if you're a lazy journalist or it's a slow news day, you can just go to the arrest blotter and find all sorts of craziness going on. I mean, like, just for instance, when I was growing up as a kid at Crescent Lake Park, the signs around the lake said, "Do not molest the alligators." I don't
know why I do that.
Hey, man, they put up a sign because it was a problem. All right. Now, I don't know what that means, but, it's a sunshine laws. So, like in Louisiana, they got similar sunshine laws, and that, like, if you're arrested, it's immediately public domain. It's public knowledge. So if it's a slow news day, yeah, they'll reach into that crime blotter and, publish all sorts of crazy
What I'm
stuff.
saying is this radio
really
show in the morning would tell you these crazy stories about these people that did these things. And then they would think, the question was, call in and tell us, was it Florida or Germany? Because the craziest stuff happens in Florida and Germany. It does.
I used to live in West Germany.
Oh, shocking.
And Louisiana. Now he lives by us.
Being surprised by that.
When I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida in 1978. My father was in college.
What year was the Berlin Wall taken down? Do you know this? We had an argument about this earlier. We know the answer now.
1989.
I quit. Yep. Anyhow, you're born. Back to your Germany port.
Who was the president?
George Herbert Walker Bush.
The guy's sharp, man. Don't underestimate Marine infantrymen. Oh, we didn't get to that
There
yet.
might be a scar on my head, but all right.
Anyhow.
So I didn't know this was a civics class.
It wasn't. We just fumbled through that earlier. So don't listen to episode 52.
You were way smarter than we are and proved it now. Good work.
Who said Mr. Gorbachev tear down that wall?
That was Ronald Reagan.
See, the man's on it. All right.
How about Ike Ein-Berliner?
Yeah, I'm a donut.
But who said it?
Hang on, hold on. He's dead. JFK.
Louisiana
right?
public school systems, gentlemen.
Man. Dang. Did you know that, Matty B? I had no idea either.
Did y'all ever see the coincidences between JFK and Lincoln? Have y'all ever seen that?
No.
It's insane.
Okay.
Like, it's something nuts. I forget all the different coincidences. Look it up sometime. It will blow your mind. Like their secretaries were named the same thing.
I prefer to look up how the
us.
Simpsons have predicted
Oh, that's
the future.
true. Yeah. Valid.
Yeah, that also is crazy.
Oh, by the way, also similar along those lines, they stole a lot from the Simpsons. Family Guy predicted Bruce Jenner becoming Caitlyn.
Family Guy did?
That's a real thing.
Are they same producers?
Wow.
They steal
not
a
at all.
lot from the Simpsons, though.
They take a lot from the Simpsons.
Yeah, practically just rebranded it with.
But better.
Yeah.
Are you a Family Guy or a Simpsons guy, Mike?
I'll let the listeners at home decide after.
I think it's clear.
Very well. I was Simpsons, not a Family Guy, or as a South Park. That's pretty good too. That's a little right up your alley, Mike. That is your humor. A little apolitically incorrect.
Well, it's not apolitical incorrectness, right? Like my humor is just humor, right? Like it's not incorrect humor. It's not apolitical.
It's just funny.
It's just funny because life is funny. And if you can't laugh at life, what can you laugh at, right? Like I love
Friends,
I love that quote from Hamilton when they're talking to
the Hamilton the musical.
Yeah.
Oh goodness gracious! Don't look here. Don't bring all this class and sass.
Pennsylvania public school systems.
Come off it.
In Hamilton, when they're talking to Aaron Burr, they say to him, I can't remember the exact line, so I'm going to paraphrase. If you won't announce what you stand for, how will anybody know what you'll fall for? Or no,
country song.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's Aaron Tippin. You're welcome there, Mike. I'll bet you didn't know that one.
That one I did not know.
Gotcha.
My Aaron Tippin knowledge is not
lacking.
that great.
It's
Ain't
lacking.
nothing
It's
on
very
but
much
this
lacking.
radio.
Yeah, I'm more of a Brooks and Dunn kind of guy.
Okay.
Mixed with
Brand
a
new
little
man.
Love it. Great Louisiana country, right? But I'm also shout out to Creed Fisher fans all across the world. If you don't listen to Creed Fisher, you're wrong.
Very well.
One of Fort Worth's greatest.
Look up who that is.
You'll love it, baby.
Mike, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about country and Western
All
music,
right,
man.
very well. Speaking of Western Germany, you were saying you're from.
Yeah, okay. So, boy, you guys do get off track, don't you?
Oh,
What?
blame it on
All
us.
the time.
This is-
You were the
this
one
is
on the
like-
mic.
Wait a minute.
ADD squirrels. I was born in
Blame shifter.
Where were you born?
St. Petersburg, Florida.
Where's
right?
St. Petersburg, Florida?
Tampa Bay area,
Okay.
right? Tampa Bay, Tampa Brady,
Yeah.
Tampa Brady,
That's funny.
all of it, But he did-
Second best quarterback in the world. Oh, I
Matty
just-
B, give me a punch in the face signal.
You
here.
guys a want want.
Give me the
He's a
little.
want want.
Thank you very much.
Can Tampa feel the breeze? That's all I'm saying.
The Drew Brees. That's it.
Look, man, the Saints had one good season. Give me something, man. The problem with the Saints is they never understood that Drew was going to retire, and they'd have to figure something out after that.
Hey, that Tyler kid ain't too half bad though. Quarterback y'all have now, you have no clue what I'm talking about, do you?
Listen, I'd said from the very beginning, I am a diehard fair weather fan.
Yeah, we know.
And the Saints are doing good. I'm watching. If they're
I am
not,
a-
I don't care.
I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Are you?
Big game next weekend against the
Huge game next
Panthers.
weekend. When you're in the NASCAR division, though, is it really that big of a game?
The NASCAR division.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
look at it, bro. Okay, NFC South is Carolina, it's Atlanta, it's Tampa, and it's New Orleans. And the second favorite sport, if not the first favorite sport in all of those, is NASCAR.
Yep.
It's the NASCAR division.
Have you
Not
ever
wrong.
been to a NASCAR race?
No, it's too
Oh
loud for me.
boy,
I've been to two.
it's not. You don't even have to be a NASCAR fan to like appreciate the
No.
power.
So, in my hometown of St. Petersburg, Florida, we have the Grand Prix every year.
I feel like St. Petersburg should have like a saying. If you're from St. Petersburg, it comes with like a, you're on the end because like you are the, you know what I mean?
It's interesting because like when I was growing up, there was a ton of old people, right? Like it was God's waiting room, right? Like honestly, it was retired. So I lived in St. Petersburg. My dad was in college when I was born. He was in the United States Marine Corps Reserves, but at the University of South Florida. And then he graduated in 1980 and got a commission in the United States Army and became an artillery officer. So at that point, we moved to Lawton, Oklahoma.
Ooh.
Right.
Oklahoma.
For
great.
yeah.
Where did you wear your shirt less, in St. Petersburg or Lawton?
Where did I what?
Wear your shirt less. Which of those two places? Or wear your
St.
shoes less?
St. Petersburg. Always saying, yeah. And
So you moved to Oklahoma. What
so
did you do there?
the-
You were in
my-
grade
my-
school? Or?
No, I was a little kid. My dad was at the basic course, and then my dad got stationed in Hanau, West Germany, right outside of Frankfurt. So in November 1980, my mom and I climbed on a plane and we flew to West Germany. My brother was born at the 97th General Army Hospital in Frankfurt in December of 1980, and then I think it was like 83. We moved back to the States, went back to Lawton. My dad went to the advanced artillery officers course there at Lawton, and then we went to Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Oh,
Yeah, baby. No, we lived in DeRidder. We didn't actually live on base.
The Ritter.
Yeah, DeRidder, Louisiana. That town in 9,000. Shout out to DeRidder, Louisiana.
about it?
if they're
Yeah.
listening,
Yeah, hopefully.
they should.
You know,
be.
Lake Charles adjacent. We'll say that.
That's right.
Yeah, but you know-
Scariest bridge in the world, in my opinion, Lake Charles.
no, the scariest bridge is Lake Poncha. No.
No, but that one in Lake Charles goes straight up to heaven and then straight down.
Yeah, you're
To
right.
New
it does.
Orleans, which
It
is
is.
hell.
It is insane. When you start going up, you're like looking at clouds. That's
Yes.
all you can see.
Is that for the barges?
Well, so yeah,
Yeah.
yes, well, it's because
Drill rigs go through there.
tax dollars
Oh,
won't pay
drill
for a
rigs.
drawbridge. So yeah,
The state's broke, among other things.
just ask the roads, right?
Yeah, just you
So-
know when you leave Texas because your car is like
The speed bumps start. But in 1984, my dad went to Fort Polk and got a command, got a battery. And in 1987, we moved to Roswell, New Mexico, because he took an ROTC duty station at New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell. So from 1987 to 1990, I lived in Roswell, New Mexico. I was 3rd to 5th grade there. And then in 1990, my dad got stationed in Osan Air Force Base on a 1 year unaccompanied. And my mom and my brother and
Where's
I went
that? Tell them.
Korea.
Yeah.
We're right outside of Seoul.
Yep.
So my mom, my brother, and I went back to DeRidder, Louisiana, and then my dad got a follow-up to Fort Polk. That was 90 to 92. And then in 1992, I don't know if you're not that old, but the BRAC happened, the base relocation and corrosion, the big reduction in force was going on. So my dad had 21 years, 20-something years active duty, and at that point was a terminal major, and he got orders to go to Fort Hood, which is Killeen, Texas. And this was just a year, maybe 2 years after the Lubies got shot up. So my dad just said, screw it, retired. And my mom, my brother, and I, we all moved back to St. Petersburg, Florida. My dad took a job in Saudi Arabia.
And you were in high school at this point.
I was in 8th grade. I was the middle of my 8th grade year.
Okay.
Right? So I started 8th grade in Louisiana for the first semester. And
Went to Florida, and you qualified for 5th grade. That's what Louisiana does to you. If you leave the state,
I did go to remedial math classes when I moved to Florida, and it was interesting because and you'll understand this. Being in Louisiana at that time in the early 1990s, we had very old textbooks.
Oh yes, we did.
And we did not. Louisiana history is what you took in 8th grade, and we did not have a chapter on the Civil War, but we had 2 or 3 chapters dedicated to the War of Northern Aggression.
The true story.
Well, the Yankees came down and tried to steal our land.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
That illegal government,
Successful.
So, my maternal
might
grandmother is a Virginia Lee. I got an interesting family history. But like when my dad went to Saudi Arabia, he wound up divorcing my mom, right? And so I went to high school in St. Petersburg. Went to St. Petersburg High School. Graduated.
What was your mascot there?
The Green Devil.
Ooh. Okay.
Speaking of devils, wasn't long after that, was it?
Actually, quite a bit.
Okay.
So I didn't enlist till I was 24 years old. I actually enlisted on my 24th birthday.
So So after high school,
misspent youth. Barely graduated high school. Had a 2.3 GPA. Told a couple of my teachers at the end of the year that I'd love to take their class next year, and I passed a few finals that I don't think I deserved to pass.
I went to a school board hearing to make sure I can graduate.
There you go. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I had decent enough grades to get a 2.3, but I didn't have I had more than a 6
but didn't you go to an arts high school?
Arts middle school. Yeah, I guess went to arts high school also. Yeah, you're right.
Don't you need like a
I
pen and an attitude to graduate?
You
A
do,
good
but I
attitude.
didn't have much of either. But I had more missed days of school than a full entire 6 weeks period. So they were going to fail me my senior year. And my mother's defense at our school board hearing was, look at him. Do you really want him for another year? Or should you
Not a
send him
bad
to an
point.
institution that can handle someone like him, like the military? And they're like, yeah, we don't want that clown again. Not again.
it worked out.
Whatever. I got out.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, Mom. What was that? She's like, shut up. It's working.
Do me
Yeah.
a solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up. It's working. You can get out of their hair and my hair.
Yeah,
go to the military.
This is really
So that's-
self-serving.
anyway.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
So,
You,
yeah, you
you
finished
didn't
up
want
high
to do your senior year with your dad?
No. Not with my dad, although he was doing his senior year still.
But so I graduated high school in 1997. And then I had 4.5 glorious freshman years at St. Petersburg Junior College. And in 2000,
4.5 years at a junior college?
yeah,
Okay.
at that point I had 33 credit hours and a 1.16 GPA. I had been on academic suspension numerous times. I had been on academic probation twice. Dean Warmer was after me. It was one of those things. But in 2002, I was bartending on the beach at the Don Cesar at the
As
lobby
you do.
bar. Hey, making good money. I was making $800 to $1,000 a week. Which is good money for a 23-year-old guy.
right.
But I was misspent youth, doing a lot of drugs. Wasn't exactly addicted to cocaine, but I loved the smell of it. And I was drinking like a fish and partying like crazy, and I couldn't afford my
I've
rent.
never
and-
heard that before.
Florida, baby, Florida. So I literally realized that I was either going to be,
Tony has
homeless.
no idea what to say over here in the corner.
I
He did. Okay.
I was either going to be homeless or I was going to be in jail, and I realized that neither place was the place I wanted to be. So I dried myself out and I enlisted in the Marine Corps. My dad was enlisted in the Marine Corps. Was a staff sergeant when I was born in the reserves, and my mom's dad was a Marine colonel, retired Marine colonel, enlisted in 46. He was a full bird, baby. Don't get too risky there. He was also an infantry officer.
No, I love Marine full bird.
You'll be all right. But he enlisted in 1946 as a private and retired in 1974 as a full bird with 3 Purple Hearts and a Silver Star.
Ooh.
Good for him.
Yeah, my dad's dad was career Air Force, security police, whatever the police, military police in the Air Force. And then my 3 uncles were Air Force, and Marine Corps.
Man, it's a legacy.
Yeah, well, I got 2 uncles that signed the Declaration of Independence.
Man,
Yeah.
you know your history that far back?
Yeah, dude. Well, when you're okay, so I'm related to Robert E. Lee, and when you're related to somebody that famous, it's pretty much easy to track. Yeah.
Interesting. Now I know where your belligerence comes from. Before I want to talk about the Marine thing
You're
matters.
also a Webfoot Yankee from the
A
mountains of
Webfoot
Pennsylvania.
Yankee. My family tree has 1 branch. Get out of here.
Have you seen the blue people?
Yes, that's weird. Hold on.
So the mountain folk know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, real quick. So before we go into his Marine service, because it's really gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, we have to ask him the buying questions.
Let's go for it.
All right. Do you want to ask him first or second? And are we gonna do the secret buying question
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
in
He gets-
replacement or in addition
In
to?
addition to.
Oh, so you get 3 buying questions.
I'll start the first 2. You
Okay.
can introduce the secret
All right.
question.
That's what third one's right up his alley.
Oh, the third one. He's
And
going to
his-
nail the third one out. I got
I'm
no doubt.
actually interested to see what he's going to say for the
Okay.
third one.
So
I
let's-
don't think it'll be.
the first one will be a
correct.
softball
No,
question
it
for you, okay? First question is, what temperature? No, that's not it. How do you cook your steak?
132 degrees.
Oh,
what-
that's rare.
And
That's medium rare.
do you like it?
132 is medium rare.
Okay.
I don't care what the internet says. 132 degrees, medium rare.
Do
What
you
is about what life says?
do you like it on a grill? How do you cook it? On a flame, gas grill?
I feel like you should be asking my wife this question.
That's fair. How do you like her to cook your steak then? We've had answers like this.
Okay. So I'm a believer in that it doesn't matter about the grill. It matters about the meat.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Now, this is where my Texas roots come out. All right. My daddy's from Texas.
You said roots.
I'm a big believer that if you,
Not like the ruts in Louisiana.
those are potholes.
Yeah, same thing.
They are.
Did I tell you the other day that
Some
my
of-
daughter
some-
hit a pothole so hard it bent the rim on her car? Yeah, we had problems. Anyway,
It happens.
I've been around the sun 43 times and I've driven some things. I've never hit one hard enough to bend rims. What were
Did you tell her you're supposed to try to miss those? Like, do what you can.
Yeah, she learned to drive from her mother.
Whoops, I was deployed.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, she actually taught her.
Okay, so your
She
your
almost
roots,
crashed the first day that we're anyway.
Yeah, mine took out a hydrangea bush. Prize hydrangeas.
First time I drove,
I
almost
lost
put it in
my
a
license
ditch, too,
before I
so-
lost my eyes.
What's that?
I lost my license before I lost my eyes.
Is it-
I had
Yeah, I've
18
heard-
major traffic violations by the time I was 23.
Man, Mike, you're the model citizen here.
Drive it like you stole it.
Anyways, back to cooking meat. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I truly believe that it's in the meat, right? So like
Yeah.
my personal opinion, I like black Angus beef,
Okay.
right? If I can get prime black Angus, I'm even better, right? But choice black, I love black Angus. It's just got a great flavor to it. You know, I do love a good black Angus steak. It's some of my favorite beef.
Okay.
Very well.
Yeah.
And so, do you prefer it cooked over a grill or over a cast iron skillet? Do you care as long as it's good meat?
Yeah, as long as it's good meat, it doesn't matter. You know, I understand there's different nuances to each one,
Sure.
but like that's part of the experience, right? Like I love grilled steak.
I'll just say, I
I
feel
love
like
a
you've
smoked
answered
steak.
correctly every
Yeah.
time.
Like, I mean, at the end of the
What
day,
about a bag steak?
at the end of the day, if I'm eating a good steak, I mean, like, cook
you
it
ever
on
eat steak
you
from a
ever-
bag?
You ever put a steak in a bag and boil it?
No, you're
Would
talking
you?
about sous vide. Yeah, I know the
We don't-
process you're
That's a
talking
curse
about.
word on this podcast. He's
Yeah,
his despair. He's
we-
showing
I'm
despair.
sorry, this guy's from the land of the French.
We don't like, it might be a French word, but we don't like putting meat in a bag and boiling it. Something's
Great.
wrong with that.
But you're not boiling it. So here's the thing. What temperature does water boil at?
212.
Thank you. What temperature is a medium rare steak?
According to you, 132.
132. Are you boiling your steak? No, you're not. You're bringing it up to an internal temperature 132, and then you're going to drop it on a flash iron, like 500-degree grill
You know why?
for 30 seconds on each side.
To deceive your guests into
That's
thinking
right.
that you grilled it on over a flame.
No, it's just a different process of preparing meat. Like, dude,
I
are
was
you
liking
kidding
this
me?
every second of this until this point.
No, but you
All your
come,
answers
you
were
come,
right.
You come from
You were
an
a
area
4.0
of
student. You're
beautiful-
going right back to a 1.3.
You come from an area that has beautiful cuisine, right?
The
Right?
best.
So,
We've
like,
ate some of
yes.
it on this
Very
podcast.
best.
All right. So, like, is there one better way to cook chicken over another?
The way my mama cooks it.
Okay. All right. So that's very subjective,
True.
right? Like, we're talking about a subjective thing here. Like, I've, to be honest with you, never had a steak done sous vide.
Good.
Like-
Stop there.
Yep.
That's enough.
Yep.
Enough for
Okay.
us.
Mike
Moving
wins,
on.
but
Mike wins.
I,
Question number 2.
I'm not opposed.
Yeah,
Okay.
you restored our
Yeah.
trust. Back to a 3.0.
All right. So now, question number 2, Mike. Do you currently or have you ever owned skinny jeans?
It's not a trick question.
No.
That's new.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Now,
Thank you. That drum roll was new. That's brand new.
It
now,
was.
I love that.
That's a
that
good
sound
drum
effect
roll.
was new.
Now, there's a secret buy-in question that I don't think anybody's ever been asked.
One.
There's 2.
we
well-
asked Pastor Tim.
Did we?
Well, no, we asked Koji.
Oh, we asked Koji.
we
We
did.
asked Koji all 4.
Well, this one is a
Oh, there's a
question that
fourth?
is Mike worthy.
It's on the center of the table, Eric.
Oh, well, yeah. I forgot about that
It's
one.
Mike worthy.
Oh, this is the most Mikeist question we've got.
The most Mikeist. No
Yeah.
one's ever said that
Listeners,
sentence.
be warned.
Listen, if you want to come to a spicy and highly interesting, entertaining men's small group,
In the Baptist church.
come in the Baptist church. Come on a Wednesday when Mike shows up.
I would venture to
Here's
say
a
you're
Mike
going to get a
question.
Bible study that you can't find in any other Baptist church.
Yep.
If,
All right.
If you get one with Mike in there, you're going to get some fiery
You're
conversations.
going to get real raw.
Yep.
And
And get righteous. So here's the
Yeah.
question, Mike.
Not medium rare, but raw.
Yeah, the 132 is not
I only
medium
punched
rare,
one
by the way.
stripper.
Yeah. I told you. Listen,
All right,
that's
what's this question? What's this?
All right,
the
so-
build up. The build up is killing me.
if you and Tony were at the beach, okay?
Oh, you got personal with it. Okay.
We got a friend here.
You got a friend.
If you and Tony were at the beach, okay?
Hold on to your socks, Tony.
2 questions.
Get
And
nervous.
Tony stepped on and got stung by a jellyfish.
And it was stinging, burning.
Would you pee on his foot to ease his pain?
I'd pee on his foot if he didn't have. Like, also,
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken, I think that's an urban myth that you can pee on a jellyfish sting.
That's
and
irrelevant.
It's going to neutralize the sting.
That's
But let's
irrelevant.
pretend for the sake
I
of the
grew up in St.
podcast that it is
Petersburg.
true.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
So now let's take it a step further.
yeah.
If you got stung by a whole bunch of jellyfish and your legs were just on fire and you had to get somebody to pee on your leg, would you get a friend or would you get a stranger to do it?
If I'm in enough pain, I don't care.
That's
So-
fair.
Yeah, you're good with it.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
Let her rip.
like
Potato
first
chip.
off, that's weird. That's telling. That's telling in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's very telling of you more than it is of me.
Eric asked the question.
Oh, you
Yeah,
would,
it
so
is-
you would say
it
other
is-
remedies would start there.
Well, I would say this. Growing up with the geographic, with whatever knowledge I have, whatever you want to call it, I know that if you get stung by a jellyfish, if you have somebody pee on you, it's not going to neutralize the burn.
Look it up, Maddie B.
It's not going to happen at all, and you're just going to have a dude pee on you. And I mean, like, if that's what you're into, you don't have to go to the beach for that.
Yeah.
They've got
do you, boo-boo?
online platforms, all sorts of stuff. I mean, like, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But like,
I actually think it does help. Look it up, Maddie B. We'll come back. Don't undermine our argument here.
no, I mean,
We
I'm
looked
just saying.
this up before. I'm very confident. More confident than my Berlin Wall year.
Says the landlocked man.
Yeah.
The landlocked man.
So many jellyfish in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Google
you got no
says no.
idea.
You have,
Yeah.
Hey, look, we got to be prepared
What
because
did
when we
Google
get out
say?
of the
What did
mountain,
Google say?
Google said no, peeing on jellyfish sting does not help. And it can
Thank
make
you,
it
Maddie
worse
B.
by
Yes.
causing more venom to be released.
Yeah.
What a
So I got a
idiot.
question for
By
you.
TV.
What's wrong with you guys?
Nothing.
Why are we
lot.
talking? Yeah.
What makes us different? Nothing. Well, look, speaking of crazy things, Mike. So back to your enlistment. So you enlisted after.
So I actually enlisted on my 24th birthday.
Thank you for being entertaining for that. Though.
Yeah.
We were excited for that question, and it didn't disappoint.
You learned something new,
Imagine that.
right?
I
Oh
learned
no,
new
you
things a
showed
lot of
us
times.
something new. Whether or not we learned it, that's a whole different story.
Well, I mean, like,
What'd you
Yeah.
say, Tony? Oh yeah, retention matters.
You led a
Retention
horse to
does.
water. You didn't. He couldn't.
Yeah,
you can't make
they
him
can
drink.
drown. Yeah,
it is what it is. No,
it is.
where were we at?
enlistment.
You enlisted.
We're getting
Oh,
to
yeah.
adversity and how to overcome it.
So, like I said, I wasn't doing too well. I was partying like crazy, and had a just misdirection. So at the end of the day, I didn't have a mission, right? So I had no direction and purpose in
So
life.
misdirected youth.
Yeah, misdirected. Just dude, I was partying like crazy, working on the beach, having
I
a
think
blast.
that's a 311 song.
Wrong beach.
Misdirected youth.
Oh,
I,
farewell.
Whatever. Kids, don't look it up.
Yeah.
Moving along. So you
Okay.
enlisted to clean your life up.
Yeah, so I mean, I did. I came home. Actually, went to my mom's house, and I told her, what I was going. Not exactly what I was going through, but that I was going nowhere, and
The wave tops.
everybody knew it. And I told her, I said, I think I want to join the Marine Corps. And the first words out of her mouth was, "It's about freaking time."
Nice. Good
She-
job, Mom.
She didn't say freaking. But at the end of the day,
She probably said, "Dang."
we'll go with that. It was a direction I needed to go.
So where'd you go to boot camp?
Paris Island.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, my dad's Hollywood, but my grandfather was Paris Island as well. So, it is what it is. I got a little both. So I had the opportunity. I could have gone Hollywood if I wanted to. I could have gone to MCRD San Diego because that's where my father went. And my dad was a drill instructor to MCRD San Diego from 72, 74. Right. So I grew up with that part of my childhood. Like when my dad came back from Vietnam, he was a drill instructor. And he was pretty much a drill instructor all through my childhood. Never could shake it. But my father was working at the Joint Analysis Command in RAF Molesworth in England at the time, working DOD. And he flew to the States, and he was actually the officer that swore me in
That's cool.
at the MEP station in Tampa, Florida.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And interesting story. I had some family friends there. One was a good friend of my grandfather's, still close friend of the family, Mike Bayer, who was in the Army when he was younger. I didn't realize this because I had actually earned 33 college credit hours in that 4.5 glorious
I know
freshman
what he's gonna
years.
say.
They enlisted me as an E2,
That's
a private
it.
first
There
class.
you go.
So I come out bouncing out like I'm Chipper Jones, and I'm like, hey,
Chipper Jones.
they made me a PFC. I'll never be a private. And Mike looks at me. He goes, don't speak too soon. Rank goes up and down.
I
He's
can
right.
attest to
That's
that.
wise.
Yeah.
I can
You
attest
know.
to that.
So I do not have a good conduct medal, but I never lost rank.
Well, what's funny? If I would have
well.
made, if all my ranks would have been forward promotions, I'd have been an E14 when I got out. And the crazy thing is, I did
Is he
get a
claiming
good.
to be SEAC right now?
I did get a good conduct medal the same year. I held the most disciplinary actions within an hour for the battalion. I
Yeah.
held that record.
How does that work?
They all got read the same time. They all
Yeah, but like if you have a disciplinary action, you don't get a good conduct.
Oh, that's
medal.
because the Army is ridiculous. Like, I just got an award for actions done during 2018. That came
If
to
I
my
had
house.
eyeballs, I'd be rolling them at you.
Oh, look, hey, it is what it is. I just
That
got an
was funny.
award in the mail on December 24th from 2018.
You just did. Like
I just received
this
it.
week.
Yeah, it's
Who
ridiculous.
signed it?
I don't even know. I threw it on the dashboard. Whatever.
That's
Holly's
funny.
like, I'm proud of that. I'm like, it was for actions in 2016 to
Do
2018.
you have an I love me wall?
Absolutely not. I have a giant DD-214 hanging in my basement, a giant one. I mean, it's about 7 feet tall.
Are
So
you
you have a-
serious?
I'm dead serious.
You have a I hate me wall?
No, he isn't. I
close.
hate the Army wall.
That's right.
Do you have an I love me wall, Colonel?
Yeah, I have some things up.
All right.
I don't have an I love me wall.
You have enough. You accumulate enough things. You're like, I got to probably do something with these. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could put in a box, I guess, but like they're a good decoration for the basement.
There's a few things on a shelf and accidentally thrown
I've been to
there.
Mike's house. He has a lot of incredible
He's
things
got
on
some
the wall
cool
and
things.
dead animals. But all right, we ain't gonna get to that yet. We need to get to
tell
August
us about your-
22nd, 2004. Right? We need to
A
get there.
day that will live in infamy.
Yeah. So you're a
So
Marine. You listed your Marine
infantry
infantry.
Marine. You're an infantry Marine. What are you doing? Where are you stationed? You make it through boot camp, and where do you go?
Oh, yeah, I went. So after boot camp, I went to Camp Geiger Tiger, right? I went for infantry training battalion. And then from there, I dropped to the fleet. But during that time, everyone was forward deployed for the liberation of Iraq. And I was supposed to go to Charlie 1-2, but I wound up dropping to a subunit for 2nd Marines. I was there for about 6 weeks. And then I got augmented to Weapons Company, 1st Battalion, 25th Marine Regiment, a reserve battalion. And I wound up deploying to Okinawa, Japan for 6 months, from June to December of 2003. And I really enjoyed Okinawa. Great duty station. It was a Camp Schwab in the Dickey Barracks, like 400 feet down from Orwan Beach, just partying. Go into the jungle Monday through Friday, shoot machine guns, blow stuff up, come party on the beach all weekend. It was perfect. A lot of the same climate as St. Petersburg, Florida. A lot of the same like water, sand type beauty. Just gorgeous, right? And then I came back and when I was there, my last month there, the police sergeant busted in the room and asked me if I wanted to go to Iraq. And I told him, yeah. So when I came back, I went down on post-deployment leave, and then I wound up getting dropped to Easy Company 2nd Battalion, 2nd Marine Regiment in January of 2004. And then we deployed to Iraq for OIF2 in March of 2004.
Where in Iraq?
We went to Mahmudiyah first in March.
Mahmudiyah.
And then in April of 2004, I was in Vigilant Resolve, the first Battle of Fallujah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were featured in the May 10th issue of Time Magazine. We had Time Magazine embedded with us. And then in May, June, and July, we went to Zaydan and dealt with the Abu Ghraib prison scandal and the blowback from that. And then in August of 2004, we went back to Mahmudiyah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, like on August 22nd, I was hit by an IED. It was the third IED I've been hit by in 6 months, right? But it was the big one. I was in a Humvee. Actually, I think you guys have seen the picture of the Humvee.
Yep, sure have.
You know.
Yeah, it was a wreckage.
It was a mess.
It was a mess.
That was my baby. That Humvee got me all around that country.
Needless to say, that Humvee is not in service any longer.
No, it's not. But, I was in it. We got hit by 2 155 millimeter artillery shells.
Where were you in the Humvee?
I was propped up in the turret area.
You were in the turret.
Yeah.
And this is
happiness is a bell-fed weapon.
Down in Fallujah, or you're in?
No, we were in Mahmudiyah at the time.
Okay, and you got hit by an IED. So we have a lot of guys that are not military that
improvised explosive device, roadside bombs. So it was like 2 artillery shells. Imagine a bullet that's like, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches wide. And like freaking, how long is a 155?
They might be longer than 6 to 8 inches. They're probably 18 inches long.
Yeah, no, I'm talking width.
Yeah, easy what you just did. Yeah, they're bigger, at least that big. Yeah, they're big.
Well, I mean, a 105.
They're the size. They're bigger than a football.
That.
They're the same width as probably twice as long as a football.
I was in the infantry, not artillery. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah,
they're big.
Imagine a big bullet. Big bullet.
Big
so
boom.
2 of them laid in the roadside. I got thrown 20 meters out of the vehicle.
Explosive bullet.
So the
IED
goes off.
You're telling me.
IED goes off, and because you're in the turret, you're launched from the vehicle.
20 meters out of the vehicle.
20 meters.
20 meters. Yeah. If the Washington Commanders do 20 meters, we might actually do something, but that's a different story. So I had 45s in my cranium crushed in. This whole piece right here where my hand is an acrylic plate. I had shrapnel into my right eye, exit my left eye, eviscerated everything in between. That means demolished for Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I took shrapnel in my right hand. I had my index finger and my pinky finger reattached. I had my right hand fully reconstructed. Took over 27 pins to reconstruct my right hand. I took shrapnel on my left knee. I fractured my patella. I cut my femoral artery. Had a lot of soft tissue damage. I spent 16 months in hospitals and rehab facilities. I did 30 major surgeries in the first 12 months.
30 major
I'm
surgeries.
talking right now.
Well, tell me, when did you wake up after the explosion? What was the first place?
I was not knocked unconscious.
What?
Dude.
Wow.
I'm a Marine. I don't know how you do it in the Army, but I was not knocked unconscious. Right? I went back, my buddy Godius threw me in a Humvee, and we went back to the FOB, and, BAS did what they could, and then I got hooked up on a Black Hawk, and I went to the 31st Combat Support Hospital in Baghdad, and there I was medically induced into a coma.
And then you were sent where from there?
Well, my godfather came to visit me at the cache in Baghdad.
Oof.
Yeah, he was an active dirty colonel at the time with the IG's office. And he landed in Iraq the day I got wounded, and he got word. So he actually came to visit me at the cache,
Wow.
which was interesting because he was able to put my mom in touch with the surgeon and all of that stuff. And then when I landed in Stuttgart at Landstuhl, my dad was working at Europe Command at the time. So he was right there waiting for me with my stepmother when I was at Landstuhl. And then he and my stepmother rode on the flight back with me to the States when I went to Andrews. And when I landed there, my whole family was there.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I went to Bethesda National Naval, and from there I went to Tampa to the James A. Haley VA for the traumatic brain injury program, and then I went back and forth to Bethesda, and then I went to Charlie Norwood Augusta VA for blind rehabilitation, and then I went back to Bethesda for a final surgery, and then medical evaluation, physical evaluation boards. I flatlined during 3 of the surgeries. I did 30 major surgeries in 12 months. I had over 22 pints of blood transfused into me in the process.
Goodness, man.
Yeah, you want to talk about what a difficult day is? Let's talk.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what we were here.
This was my whole thing about traffic, right? Like, it gets worse.
Oh, traffic gets worse, or your story gets worse?
No. If you're stuck in traffic, be happy. Worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we were hoping to talk to you about, man. Because so you spent how long? You said in Bethesda, 22 months.
No, I spent 16 months in and out of different hospitals and rehab facilities.
And on the back side of this, you actually you still are like a motivational speaker.
Well, I closed that business down, but yeah, I wound up doing that for a little while.
Yeah.
But when I first got out, I did nothing. I fell into a bottle for a year and just partied my tail off in 2006. I got medically retired in December of 2005. And, it was towards the end of 2006, I got involved with an HBO documentary that I filmed with James Gandolfini called Alive Day Memories. And it was about that time I decided I wanted to do something with my life. So I moved up to Alexandria, Virginia in January 2007 with the idea of going back to college. And in August of 2007, 3 years and 1 day after I got blown up, I started in Northern Virginia Community College and started my way back to get my college degree. I went to NVCC for a year, and then I transferred to Georgetown University for a year, 2008, 2009 school year. And I had a lot of difficulty there because that college is so old. They're not ADA compliant. A lot of rooms weren't labeled in Braille, things like that. So I left and I went back to St. Petersburg where I owned a house, and I finished at the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg, graduated from college in 2012. During that whole process, I started the Veteran Service Dog Program, Paws for Patriots at Southeastern Guide Dogs. I wound up writing for the New York Times blog, the Opinionator blog for a little while, got published in a few different magazines and just started doing all sorts of, every opportunity that came my way, started taking advantage of it,
Wow.
Yeah.
This is at the heart of the matter that I kind of want to get into, right? And so, you have so much to offer folks who are, like you said, like what your problems most people dealing with aren't real problems, right? There's other real problems.
They're very real problems, but we have to label these problems. We have to understand like how significant they are.
Yeah.
Right? Like the problem that you're stuck in traffic is one thing, but the problem that you're stuck in traffic and when you get home, you got no food to feed your kids, that's a whole different problem. Right. So like there are a lot of problems and we just have to like be able to ascertain what our problem is and like label it and figure out how significant it is and like how much of this is this affecting me because I'm just, being soft right now, or is this affecting me because I have no control over this, or is this affecting me because I'm doing something wrong? Right. Like what is the problem and how do I evaluate it?
What would you say to folks? Like, so as we kind of unpack this a little bit, right?
If one person tells you you're a prick, screw them. If 10 people tell you you're a prick, you might want to look inward. It might be your problem.
It's probably you. I said that a lot of times. If it,
But I mean, like, I don't like to diminish anybody's difficulties because they're very real in the moment for the individual experience.
Sure.
Right. And some of them can be real problems and some of them can be manifested problems, right? Like how many problems in our lives do we create on our own? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when you really think about it, like what about the deadlines we put on ourselves that we don't need to? And as a result, we wind up pushing ourselves and then we wind up ignoring our family, things like that. Like we do this to ourselves, right? And not all problems are self-created, but a lot of them are. And these are like when you talk about adversity and resiliency and all of this stuff, this is a tool that you need to have those characteristics. You need to be able to sit there and evaluate your problems.
Well, Mike, I got a question for you then.
Self-evaluation is important.
There's, in the military, we're constantly, it's beat into us to adapt and overcome, to, whatever the adversity comes. So my question is, a lot of guys girls, whatever, will join the military. They're faced with very real, very hard, life-threatening, life-altering decisions. We make those decisions. We overcome the problem. We do great. But when we get out and we come home and our life is wildly different back home, it's the smaller things that we have trouble adapt. Like all of a sudden, a lot of time that
You mean
adapt
it's like
and
you got institutionalized living in the military?
Sure, but that adapt and overcome thing, all of a sudden gets a little bit lost.
That adapt and overcome thing is overused.
Of
So
course.
when you say it, what do you mean when you say it?
Well, you adapt to your situation and overcome the problem, and we're good at that. But what I'm saying
But like
is,
if you've planned well and everything goes to mission, you shouldn't have to adapt.
Well, we talk about planning a little bit. I
This is what I'm okay. So a lot of people, and military people are the worst about this, will throw around all of these adapt, improvise, overcome, all of these different terms, and it gets abused. When it really does have a situation, right? So like adapt, improvise, and overcome. Why do we have 3 plans when we step off? Because no plan survives first contact.
sure,
Right. So when first plan goes, we click to B. When B doesn't work, we click to C. When C doesn't work, now we adapt, now we improvise, and now we overcome. We take into consideration commander's intent, what the mission is, and we figure out how to accomplish the mission. But adapt, improvise, and overcome doesn't come into play until it needs to. It's
Sure.
a tool.
sure.
It's not a way to live your life.
Well-
If you're adapting and improvising every day, you're not planning properly.
Oh, I
You're not-
agree. I'm not
you're
saying
not
that should be an everyday
hold on.
thing.
I'm with you, Josh, on this too. But hold on. We talk about planning properly, but that isn't always the case. I would think in your case, you weren't planning for life without eyesight on the backside of that deployment, right?
No.
And so one of the questions I have. So that's an improvise, adapt, and overcome moment. But what was so in terms of like real life skills, how did you manage that change between life pre-injury and life post-injury once you're back? Because that was something I don't think anyone could plan for, right? Or
John
would.
Fales Jr.
Say it.
John Fales Jr.
Okay.
Don Frenchie Levesque, right? 2 Marines. They were both blinded in Vietnam.
Okay, I love this story. I think
Okay.
this is the one I'm thinking of.
And both of them came out of the woodwork when I went blind. Okay.
So these are vets from Vietnam era that were
Yeah.
blind in combat,
Yeah.
and they came and spoke to you.
So Frenchie heard my story from a friend of the family, a guy that my parents knew when my dad was in the Marine Corps. And he was friends with Frenchie. They were both DIs at Quantico over there at OCS. And Frenchie had gone blind in the war. So Frenchie actually flew down to St. Petersburg just a couple of months after I got wounded. And I remember he stayed at a hotel on the beach, and my dad drove me out there, and I went to go visit him in his hotel room, and he gave me a greeting card, right? Like Hallmark greeting card. And my dad opened it up, and he read whatever the Hallmark thing was. But what Frenchie had wrote was he had written, because Frenchie was a Marine, he wrote, "Welcome to the all-day night patrol, Semper Fi, Frenchie," right?
Yeah.
And so, but he talked to me about how he traveled, because he traveled down there from Alabama to St. Petersburg, Florida on his own. And he told me how he did it and how he got help from the airport, from the airlines, and how he got on the airplane, and how when he checked in the hotel room, how the bellhop helped him, showed him how to use a coffee, all of this stuff, right? And at this time, I hadn't gone through blind rehab yet, so I hadn't had all this independent
Blind
living
rehab.
skills.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's a thing, So I did 16 weeks in a blind rehabilitation facility to learn how to live independently.
Gotcha.
All right,
Okay.
so I mean that did a lot of heavy lifting.
Now
for
you
me.
were a single man at the time
I
when you were in recovery.
I was
And-
married.
You were married, okay?
Yeah, my first wife left me a year after I got wounded. But Frenchie was one guy, but another guy that really became a huge impact in my life was John Fales. right? John was a Marine who got blinded by, I think, a rocket attack in 1967 in Vietnam, right? And he had heard that there was a blind Marine at Bethesda back when it was still the Navy hospital. And he came to visit me, and he was actually there for my Purple Heart ceremony with the ACMAC Spider Nyland, Assistant Commandant of the Marine Corps. And John took me under his wing and started showing me the ropes. And when I went back to Bethesda for my physical evaluation board, medical evaluation boards a year later, he started taking me out to events in DC. And when I got retired, he would call me every other week and see how I was doing in St. Pete. And he's the guy that got me to go back to college. Because every time I tell him that, I was just having fun and doing this, he says, you need to go to college. Well, I don't want to go to college. Well, you're stupid. You earn those benefits. They're going to pay you to go to college. Why would you not go to college? That's dumb to not take advantage of the benefits that you earned, right? So I listened, and he's the guy that convinced me to go back to college. And when I went back to college, that's why I moved up to Northern Virginia, because he lived in Silver Springs, Maryland, and as a proud Southerner, I wouldn't live in Maryland, So, but I lived in Alexandria.
Fair point.
And went back started a community college and wound up getting into Georgetown. Dude, I barely graduated high school, never took my SATs. And in 2008, I got accepted to Georgetown University, which at the time was a top 25 university. It was through help from other people, man. So 5 years after John and I met in 2009, he and I are at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., and we're just chatting, after an event. And I started asking him about his service. Turns out my grandfather was his battalion commander in Vietnam.
Isn't that something? That's a cool
And
story.
I truly believe to this day that my grandfather died in 1999 before I joined the Marine Corps. But I truly believe that he was up in heaven or wherever he is and saw what happened to me and found one of his Marines who had the same problem and sent him to me. And John taught me that there's success after blindness. That this doesn't have to define me, that I can define it.
Ooh, that's
good.
Right?
Yeah.
So he empowered me.
Leading through change.
Yeah, he empowered me to have a different mindset, a different mentality. How do you go about this, right? So this is when I start talking about right and left of blast. Okay. So blast, August 22nd, 2004, got blown up. That's blast. Everything left of blast is on the timeline before that happened.
Right.
Do you lump all that together?
A lot of it, yeah.
Okay. That's just pre-blast Mike. Life is different then.
It's left of blast.
You're left to blast. Yeah.
What does it matter?
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Blast was the big deal.
Yep.
Blast was literally the Big Bang.
Oh, boy.
Hey, you weren't there. It was a Big Bang.
I guarantee it.
And everything right of blast, and I focus on right of blast. What happened right of blast? Because that's at that point what I need to focus on, and I take.
So your advice then to folks dealing with whatever adversity they've got is shed everything left of incident.
Yes.
And focus on the now.
Yes. Not only the now, but the tomorrow.
There you go.
Right?
That's good.
Okay, you're a colonel. I don't know what they do in the Army, but you remember SMEAC?
Yeah.
5-paragraph order?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Do you know what a 5-paragraph order is?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on,
What's
man.
a paragraph?
Sounds like 5 paragraphs to me.
Weren't you a master sergeant?
No.
What'd you get out
I
of
was a sergeant first class.
E7.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what a 5-paragraph order is?
I don't know what a SMEDAC is. Are you talking about
SMEAC. 5-paragraph order. Situation, mission, execution, administration, logistics, command signal.
Yeah, we don't call it that, but yeah.
Same thing though, right?
Yeah.
You got something similar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how many of those have you written since you got out of the military?
No, 0 since then.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess you're going to probably tune me up.
Write one every once in a while. It'll help define your mission.
Josh is shaking his head
I'm gonna say
violently.
nope.
Well, so this is one of the things you have to understand, right? For somebody like me, who the Marine Corps was the first job I ever had that I could be proud of,
Very well.
that I could stand up. And when I said I'm a United States Marine, I knew, and everybody around me knew, that what I did made a difference in other people's lives. Okay? That was huge for me at 24
It's a big
years
deal.
old.
Yeah,
It was
it is.
life-changing,
It's a big
life-altering.
deal.
Before that, I was a very, very selfish person. I was a very selfish person after that, but at least I could say what I did mattered to somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
right? and when I got blown up, all of that was taken away from me.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I could have sat around and been like, oh, woe is me. Right. And concentrated on everything left to blast and everything that
Sure.
I'm now going to miss out on.
Ooh, this is good.
Or I could focus on right now and right of blast and everything I got to do to get back. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the back has to be defined. Right. What is my new mission? Right. At a certain point, it's just physical therapy, occupational therapy, going to surgeries, getting cut on. That's your mission, But I mean, the idea is like, this is going to end, and then I'm going to be at home, and I'm going to have to do something.
And I've actually been pretty, like more than pretty, like incredibly impressed with the fact that, and as we have got to know you, it's like not only did you survive, you have thrived, and things that people would never imagine somebody without eyesight can do. And I'll tell you this, back to being at your house, bro, you have more animals
Yeah, you're a hunter.
on the wall
You're a hunter.
than I think most people who claim to be rednecks
Yeah.
have.
They would like
by
to
a
have.
factor of not a small number.
Yeah.
So I have a rule in my house: if it hangs on the wall, I harvested.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, and Mike and
I don't buy my taxidermy. I harvest
all right.
my own.
So I will say this: Mike and I went sick of deer hunting just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Be polite,
Why is that?
because I'm not happy about that trip.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a different story.
Oh yeah, different story. But we didn't harvest. But it is what it is.
That's why we call it hunting, not killing.
Yeah, but listen,
Sometimes you're
Mike,
hunting.
We would have harvested if they would have listened to me.
Oh, there we go.
We won't go there.
Matty B, how you like that sexy velvet voice?
Maddie's a little off camera. Y'all ain't seeing this, but
He does a lot of
He's
head
less-
shaking when all of us start talking. That's
he's
just how
mostly
it is.
embarrassed about Josh and I most
It's
of
true.
the time.
It's true.
I would be too.
Name some of those animals. Like not just a squirrel.
Yeah.
Well, so that's actually, I want to shoot a squirrel because I want to get a squirrel mounted drinking a beer can.
Is there a story behind this?
No, it's just a taxidermy thing. You can look it up. Like if you Google taxidermy squirrel drinking a beer can, it's a common taxidermy for squirrels.
A common taxidermy.
Yeah, like so common they make a mold for it. But I have a
Josh is looking it up.
I did a bison homicide.
That's different than hunting.
Yes, so you actually just pull up to a herd of bison.
Homicide.
You get out and you shoot a bison.
All this blind. All this without your eyesight.
Yeah. I mean, that's not hard at all. I mean, they're cattle. It's like shooting a cow. It's not difficult.
Okay, so bison homicide.
I did a bison homicide, but over the fireplace is a 9-point mule deer.
Yep.
Weighed about 240 pounds dressed.
Mm-hmm.
I shot that in southeastern Montana. On the coffee table is the Euro of the gold medal trophy pronghorn that I took in southeastern Montana. Up on the wall with the bison, I've got 8-point whitetail, very symmetric, gorgeous, 120 pounds dressed. Took him in Goldthwaite, Texas, 90 miles west of Waco. I've got a 9-point whitetail up there. I didn't weigh him after I dressed him, but I took that in Liberty County, Texas. I got a gold medal trophy pronghorn antelope.
Yep.
No, gold medal trophy black buck antelope that I shot on a game ranch.
You haven't
in
even
Strawn,
gotten my
Texas.
favorite one yet.
I got an alligator head.
Mm-hmm. And alligator boots on, I think.
That's full quill ostrich.
Oh, ostrich. My
Yeah,
bad.
but
They're pretty fancy.
on November 10th of 2013, I took an 11-foot 2-inch alligator. I got the head done on that. And then in January of 2022, I took a 130-pound mountain lion.
That's the one I was waiting for.
I also fish.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I also
I don't
fish.
remember the fish.
So just in October, I caught a 40-inch king salmon.
You did do that.
king
You went
salmon.
to, was it Ohio?
I was in Michigan. I caught that on the Pier Marquette.
Huh.
Yeah. A river monster disguised as a king salmon.
Did you eat it?
No, we were catch and release on that trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Salmon's good. But yeah, I think I wanted to just kind of like highlight the fact that, there's a lot of the ways it could have went. And I guess you said for a little while it did. Like anybody who's gone through adversity.
Well, it's okay.
It's all of it's all perspective, right? Is that?
Well, a lot of it is it is perspective, and you have to be honest with yourself, right? So in the beginning, one of the things that I tried to ignore the fact that I had a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah,
I
that's really good.
Tried to ignore the fact that I had post-traumatic stress. I didn't want to admit that I had these problems, right? And as a result, I kept falling on my face, you know, and having difficulties in personal relationships and all sorts of stuff, you know. But like, I started doing a lot of self-evaluation and started realizing that like a lot of the problems I'm having, I'm creating through ignoring my disabilities, ignoring my post-traumatic stress, ignoring the fact that I'm blind, trying to live like it's not an absolute reality in my life, trying to live like I don't have to pay attention, like I can overcome this without actually working on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll readily admit I wound up in a rubber room for a little while, you know, all sorts of stuff. It's happened, you know. Every time I failed, I try to fail forward. You know, I try to evaluate what happened and why it happened and try not to do that again type stuff. You know, but it takes a lot of self-evaluation. I mean, the key to resiliency, right, I think comes down to character, okay? Work on your character, because if you have strong character, you can be more resilient, right? But also,
Interesting.
it takes a lot of sitting down and looking inward, being introspective, and being brutally honest with yourself. But it also takes recognizing red flags and listening to feedback from others.
I hear you. We talked about that last
Because
episode.
we can lie to ourselves all day long. We can convince ourselves that the world is fine, you know.
Did anybody ever try to convince you the world is flat? What would you say to them? I had a couple friends. They were Marines, actually. A Marine sergeant specifically.
I have a Marine that I served with that is a flat earther.
The dumbest thing I ever heard of.
Bro, I work at NGA, National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, and there are people there that believe the Earth is flat.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Yeah,
I
come
mean,
on.
it's concerning, but they can make some interesting arguments, but they're all crazy.
Interesting.
Why
to
do I
whom?
feel like we should call the Inspector General?
I mean, call them if you like. These people.
I mean,
are
there's
nuts.
flat earthers at NGA.
100%. Yeah, they have a community of them. They like get together and hang out and share their crazy little stories and why they think there's corners of the earth and you fall off. It's ridiculous.
Find one. Who's fell? Show me somebody falling off. Come on, you
Bro, I'm not the one in that
Well,
little group of friends.
If they
but
fall off the earth, they can't come back and tell you.
that's right. They would tell you if they came back, but they can't come back.
I don't know.
I don't know.
To be honest with you, I don't have an opinion on flat Earth. I went to space camp in 1991, and it's like I don't know. I mean, hey, you know, different strokes for different folks. If you believe in flat Earth,
good
on
for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Welcome to America. That's
Bless
all I
your
gotta
heart.
say.
Bless your heart.
Share whatever
Yeah.
you're drinking.
Yeah. Well, you said something a minute ago that I wanted to touch on and come back to about how to deal with some adversity, and you mentioned character.
Yeah.
What is it like? How does somebody? So if somebody's like, man, like you said earlier, it's like, hey, you got to be prepped for what's coming. So if somebody were to prep character, if you were to give somebody advice, like, man, I don't know what crazy things I might go through, or maybe I'm going through. I'm like, how do you prep, or how do you mold character, Mike? And I'm not talking for the service member.
So I actually,
the layman.
I do a thing with like scout troops. We call them scout troops now.
Yeah.
Scout troops, when I talk to kids, things like that, I will take the 15 leadership traits, the United States Marine
Empathy.
Corps. JJ,
Not empathy. It is.
Name all 15.
Emotional intelligence. Oh, JJ did tie buckle?
I didn't ask for the acronym. I said name all 15.
You really want me to do this?
Do it.
Justice, judgment, decisiveness, initiative, dependability, tact, integrity, enthusiasm, bearing, unselfish courage, knowledge, loyalty, endurance, and empathy.
Okay.
Number 5. That's emotional intelligence, by the way.
Yes.
Essentially is what it is.
Yes. Right? So those 15 leadership traits, when you look up the definitions of them per Marine Corps, it's fairly ambiguous, right? Because the Marine Corps wants you to be able to absorb them and kind of make them your own.
All right.
Okay. You grew up in Spanish Harlem. You got a different background than this guy who grew up in Broussard, Louisiana, and that you grew up outside Altoona. I grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida. You got people from all over the country that you're mashing together, and you need them all to think one way, right? So you write it ambiguous. But the idea behind this whole idea of character, right, is that if you are improving on each one of these ideals, justice, judgment, bearing, unselfishness, courage, all of these are ideals, right? You look them up, you can find them online. All the knowledge is online, right? But if you start improving on each one of these things, right, make a list. Take a piece of paper, fold it in half. Or what I like to do, take a dry erase marker, right, and on your bathroom mirror, on the left side, write all of the ones you think you're good at. And on the right side, write all of the ones you think you need to improve at, right? So when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, you're looking at that. And you're like, okay. And you're evaluating it as you're doing your morning routine, shaving your face, brushing your teeth, whatever you do, right? And with dry erase, you can erase one and switch them back and forth, right? But having it visually there every morning when you wake up is something that can remind you to build on each one of these traits, because you're going to come across a moment in the day where you need to make a just decision. You're going to come in a moment in the day when you need to have bearing. There's going to be a moment in your day when you need to use tact to talk to somebody else, right? So these are things that remind you every day to improve these parts of your character, so that when you do come up against, what's the word I'm looking for? Adversity, challenges, difficulties, problems, right? You have this set of skills that you've been honing, this toolbox of all these tools that you've learned how to implement that you can now use.
How would you relate them to the fruit of the Spirit, right? It's in Galatians 5, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Are they similar?
Those are character traits. I used the Marine Corps ones because that was what was drilled into my head. But yes, those are very similar.
And that's kind of the last place I'd like to end on, because we're at an hour and 6 minutes or so. Is this and I think I would say recent, in the last couple of years anyways, new-ish to the faith. Would you agree?
I grew up Roman Catholic, but I converted back in February of last year, becoming a Baptist, and so now I'm reading the Bible, and I'm actually going to Bible study and doing the work. And,
yeah, man. How do you see that as a parallel to the resilience and character building and training?
Well, I think that it really helps me with my character. It gives what I read in Scripture and what I read in the Bible and the Word gives me ammunition for the challenges that I face in life, gives me the support for the decisions that I make in my life, right? And gives me the guardrails and the compass I need to navigate every day.
Yeah. I've heard it said, have you heard it said before that the Bible isn't meant to be a rule book, it's meant to be a playbook?
I've never heard that.
Yeah, we've said that here before. And I guess you should have listened closer at some of our men's groups.
Well, I prefer like a guidebook. Like not a rule book necessarily.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's a playbook, right? Meaning like it's not a rule following. You have to do this, then B, then C. It's like you just said. It equips you.
Dude, the whole thing boils down to put God first, have faith, and treat your neighbor as you would want to be treated.
Seems pretty. Yeah, there it is. Yep. The 2 greatest commandments. There you go.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, Josh, and it was as we wrap this up, do you have any other questions for Mike? And we'll kind of hand it to him to be like, hey, what do you have for the fellas listening or watching now, actually, to take away? And then we'll wrap this thing up on change and adversity. And
yeah, I think the last thing I want to say, Mike, and I think I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. It was something we said in the episode before you showed up tonight regarding change. A lot of men fear change, right? Ooh, for a number of reasons.
They do fear change.
And I think one of those
people.
Yeah,
not just men.
Well, sure.
People,
absolutely. We're speaking mostly to men, but I agree with you. It's people, absolutely. But I would say specifically men fear change because of a number of reasons. One of which I believe is they get accustomed to doing things that work. They get into a routine. This is the recipe I use. It generally works. It's what I do to affect things, and they start to realize things in my life are changing around me without my control. Maybe I'm getting older. I don't recover from a workout as easier as I did when I was 21, and now I'm late 40s, early 50s, and I work out and it doesn't, the physical effects don't show up like they used to. But I think what I wrote down in my comment I wanted to ask you is, I think men are afraid of change because the things they once did don't work anymore, and they're afraid that who they used to be is becoming irrelevant. So if I keep doing those old things, they're not working anymore. I have to start doing something different. So I can, or I'm going to get comfortable in my old ways. I'm no longer effective in my family, in my marriage, in my relationships, in my work. Maybe my work changes. And in your situation, Mike, I would ask you this. You talked about left of blast, right of blast. Things changed for you on a dime very quickly that day. You had a long road to recovery, 30-something surgeries, lots of hospitals, lots of treatment, learning to live with. You had to learn a different way to be effective, which you've done very well and had success in different areas of your life. You've talked about some hunting stories that a lot of guys would, that's their dream to be able to do that stuff.
How many mountain lions you shot, Josh?
Not one.
0. Me
not
too.
Not even one.
Yeah. How many antelope? 0. Me too.
Yep.
That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. But I think, and this is just my thoughts, and I'm just going to pause there and let you wrap it up. But I think we have to recognize that those changes come our way. And in some cases, maybe not all, but in some cases, if we don't adjust fire a little bit, adjust our tactics a little bit, we become less and less relevant to that situation because we get comfortable saying, well, I can't do that. This is just the way I am. You didn't do that. You said, hey, things are different for me now. Things are different for the way that I take in information, the way I read. I've got to learn to read by Braille. I've got to learn to hunt differently or fish.
I don't read by Braille.
You don't read by Braille?
No.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to his phone go a bazillion miles a second?
I'll tell you.
It's like
watching him use that
Mike's
phone
like,
will make your head spin.
Well, I listened to him like, Mike, that's really fast. He's like, that's called my, what'd you call it? OPSEC.
That's OPSEC, baby.
Operational
I keep my
security.
phone, like the speech turned fast, and I trained.
What do you
my ear
mean
to listen
fast? I'm talking like,
It's light speed.
I
Light
trained
speed.
it
It's a
to talk
superpower.
fast so that when I'm on it, anybody around me can't understand what it's saying, but I train my ear
And
to
it
listen
works.
to
It
so
works.
I can understand it.
Let me ask you something else, and this might be personal, but I think we have a good
I
relationship.
just wear an
You can handle
AirPod
it.
all the time in my ear.
Let me ask you this, Mike. When someone has a devastating event like you had, when there is they
Best
lose their
financial move I ever made.
I've
right.
heard him say that.
When they lose their sight or something like that, do other senses get
Interesting question.
enhanced or escalated?
You know, I get asked this question a lot, and I don't really know the scientific answer to this. I will tell you this. I pay more attention.
to the other senses.
I pay more attention to sounds.
Oh,
I
interesting.
pay more attention to touch, to feel, right? I pay attention. Do I hear better? It's not like my hearing got more acute,
Right.
but
You're more in tune to it.
pay more attention to it.
I'll tell you what didn't get any
because
better.
I'm now using my hearing to ascertain my environment without my eyes.
That's
So
interesting.
I'm only using my hearing, right?
That's interesting.
So
Yeah.
whereas you hear a noise, you can direct your eyes in that noise, and then your eyes will
Yeah.
tell you what you see.
Yeah.
Whereas I hear a noise, I have to, what is that noise?
Figure that out.
Run through the checklist because I can't just look and see what the noise is.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know,
I'll tell you what didn't get better was his sense of direction because I watched him point 180 degrees in the wrong direction when he was trying to tell us where his house was, sitting in this room.
freaking blind. I just have to point.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, dude. Let's get real.
Let's get real.
He does.
You're
He
taking
does.
directions from me. I mean,
Hey, not the right now.
He does
You
pull
may wanna
jokes on
move
me and gets me about every other time when he'll say something about, like, man, the place looks really nice here.
yeah. Well, I mean,
And
okay.
and,
so
and I'm
a
stumped
lot
for
of
it.
that-
I'm like,
a
yeah,
lot of that is-
wait a minute. He's joking
He
with
says
me
not
right
dry
now.
humor, it's just humor.
But a lot of that
It's
is
humor. It's funny.
I am breaking the ice and trying to
fair.
take the whole. Dude, I'm the first blind person most people meet. when
That's
they meet
interesting,
me.
too.
It's not a
Yeah.
bad point.
Yeah,
That's
how many
probably
blind
true.
people have you met, Josh, before me?
A couple, but
Yeah.
I haven't
Not
been as
many.
close to him as I am with
Right.
you. Yeah, like
You
to
know
have conversations like we've had.
I'm the first blind person I ever met.
Is that right?
Yeah. I never met a blind person before me.
That's interesting.
You know, John was the second blind person I ever met.
Interesting.
You know, I mean, that's just so like, and I got a scar on my head, and I don't wear sunglasses, so I got 2 caverns in my face where eyes used to be, you know, and I will crack a joke because it lightens the mood.
Sometimes clean,
and then
sometimes not as clean.
People know I'm human.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
People know that they can treat me like a normal person because I'm going to treat you like a normal person.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
That's
You
really
know,
good, Mike.
And this is just something that I picked up on real quick. You know, if I crack a joke, then it's more comfortable. People are more comfortable around me.
That's
you know?
good.
And I mean,
I'll
hell,
tell you
I'm-
what's making me uncomfortable right now is that tight haircut you got going on.
You like that, don't you?
No, that
Yeah,
thing
you do.
is screaming
Oh,
high
Yeah.
and screaming tight. Did you just come from Camp Lejeune?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Of course.
No, dude, 17 Barber. Shout out to Daisy, 17 Barber on 17. Best haircut
she
in town.
tuned you up this week.
Oh, bro. She does a great job. Does a
Yeah?
Great job. Yeah. Actually, her husband cut my hair today. So
Oh,
he-
today? You
yeah.
get a fresh one for the
Oh, yeah.
podcast?
Oh, yeah. Well, I heard it was going
Oh.
to be video. I give good camera too, baby.
When you saw that velvet love voice, what'd you say it was?
That's that sexy velvet.
Oh, yeah. Sexy velvet voice.
Maddie-
Tune him up for
Maddie
the
B's
camera.
loving it.
He
Maddie-
does have a good.
he's
He does
highly
have a good
embarrassed.
radio voice. He does.
He does, yeah.
He'd give
Saying I
Garrett a run for his
saying I-
money.
Saying I got a face for radio.
Yeah.
I'm
This guy
saying-
right here, he's got a face for radio.
I'm saying you'd
voice
give,
for
you'd
TV.
give Garrett a run for his money. He's proud of his radio
my-
voice, but
my-
I think he might be topped here.
My wife sent me with a bottle of water because she's like, you know, when you don't drink water, you wind up sounding like Wolfman Jack. So speaking of radio voices, shout out to Wolfman Jack.
And shout out to your wife, Kim. She's also
Yeah.
a rock
Dude, my
star.
wife,
I
my
love
wife Kim is amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's a good lady,
Yeah,
man. She is.
She's my better 2/3. You know, I would say possibly 3/4, but I'm trying to make myself look good on camera.
There you go.
fair.
You know, but back to what you were saying, right? Like, can you put a fine point on what you were making? Because you were all over the place there.
Well, I just think the bottom line is men get comfortable in what works. And when change comes their way, they're scared that they may not measure up. They might
Can
become
you
irrelevant.
Stop the clock.
There is no stopping the clock, Mike.
No joke. You can't stop the clock. The only thing that is constant is change. Every second, the world changes, right? Every second, the world changes.
Mm-hmm.
The light changes, the winds change, the tides change. We can't stop the clock.
There you
We
go.
cannot stop change. Okay? We have to accept that as a universal fact.
There you go.
And if you can't accept that as a universal fact, you're going to have a failure to launch. Okay? Now, I mean, the idea is if we understand that the world is changing around us, and if we can grasp the concept that we have to change with the world, we can do that one of two ways. We can go with the flow and do stuff we don't like, or we can figure out how we fit in that change. And we can possibly affect our own change in other ways. Right? Like, if you're not happy in life, find a mission, because a mission is going to give you direction and purpose. And if you don't have a direction and purpose, you are lost. Right? And if you fear change, if you don't like the way the world's going, go to church. You know? Start looking around.
It's a great place
Start
for
trying
direction.
to figure out where you can go that is going to change, but in the way you want to change.
there you go.
Right? Like, that's the whole thing, man. This is the United States of America. We got everything. We got everything, dude. You can buy it online and get it shipped to your house. Whatever you want. This guy can get you synthetic ice skating in freaking July in Virginia. You know?
Did you
Like-
ice skate?
No, I didn't. I didn't go to the super spreader.
The super spreader. He's talking about getting sick. Everyone was sick.
Everyone was sick. I didn't go.
Yeah,
I heard your family was sick. I heard other families were sick. And
I was
like,
in
you know,
Louisiana. I missed it.
That doesn't sound like a good
Character
idea.
building.
But you know, we can't stop the clock. We can't stop change. But we can change in ways that we want to change. Right?
There you
We
go.
can affect our own change in ourselves in different directions that are going to move with the flow of change in the world and in our community. but we can figure out where it's going to be the most comfortable for us, right? I don't like what's going on in this country. I don't necessarily have a difficulty with all of it. That's the beauty, is I could cherry pick, but like, what did we do? My wife and I found a church. And with that, we found a community, and we found like-minded people, and we found support, and we found everything that we needed in life. And it wasn't just from the church, but it was because we decided that we needed something more than what we had, and we went looking for it.
Yep, and I would say that was the
And,
Holy
and we
Spirit.
broke your
led that.
windshield,
Yeah.
but that's a different story.
The thing, you're also conveniently
That's true.
located in that direction.
Yeah.
He got it. No. Well,
He's conveniently located in that direction.
yeah, he is.
But
we also broke your windshield, and that
Yeah.
locked you in.
but I mean, like,
That's
at,
actually
Story
a
for
great
another
story.
time.
at the end of the day, right, the world's going to change.
That's right.
Figure out how we're going to change, right? Because we need to, right? We need to. It's just is what it is. This isn't 1997.
And like you
anymore.
said, if you don't change, you have a failure to launch.
Right. And that's what, are you happy being angry? Are you happy being pissed off, screaming at the TV? Are you happy being angry, screaming, pissed off at all the people on the street, right? All the drivers on the road. If you're angry all the time, look inside. It ain't the world.
There it is.
It's
Yeah.
you.
That's a good point.
Back
It's
to the
freaking
beginning.
you.
That's right.
Figure out why you're angry. There's a reason. Figure it out.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, talk to a mental health professional. Talk to your wife. Talk to your husband. Talk to your dad. Talk to your mom. Talk to your coworker.
I would say talk to Jesus. Have a conversation with
Talk
God.
to-
Do
talk
some
to whoever-
praying.
talk
We
to
got
whoever you
biblical
need to talk
counseling.
to.
Yeah.
I will say this.
Talk to a friend.
Don't talk to Johnny Walker. He's Snappy
Johnny
dresser, though.
Walker.
And
No,
Jack
Justin,
Daniels a liar too.
Yeah.
You leave Jack out of this.
Very well.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, look, man, we've been going at this thing for an hour 20. And at this point, we just really appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Yeah, we do. We
Thanks for
appreciate you
coming
coming on, man. We're grateful that you've kind of walked into our lives here a couple of years ago.
Absolutely.
We've learned a lot from you, man, and we've been doing life with you for a couple of years, men's groups and otherwise,
Better
spending
for
time off site as well, man. But thank you for coming on tonight. And last word kind of goes to you and Josh. Josh, you got anything else for Mike, and we got him close it out?
I'll just echo that. I think it's great. I think you bring really great perspective. I think people can listen to what you've been through, listen to how you've made changes and overcome adversity in your own life, and be motivated by it, encouraged by it. You're open to talk about it. Your openness about it is exciting and refreshing, and the perspective you bring is just great. So we love having you in the men's group here with us. We love having you on
Definitely.
the podcast with us. We'd love to have you back sometime, talk about different things. But thanks for being here, taking the time out of your day, man.
Thank you guys for having me. If you're having problems at home, reach out.
Yeah,
Reach out to somebody. Talk to somebody. If you're angry all the time, turn off the news.
there you go.
Put the phone
I've
down
told that story.
and talk to somebody face to face,
That's good.
right? A lot of that anxiety is coming from what you're putting in your face.
That's the
Right?
truth.
Screens.
Yeah.
they're
What
not
are you
good for
feeding yourself?
Yeah.
That's your
exactly.
diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be reflected.
Yeah.
It'll
So,
reflect your-
Turn off the
your
news.
diet.
Turn on the podcast.
There we go.
Exactly. Yeah. And Matty B, to answer the Family Guy Simpsons question, all I'm going to say is bird is the word.
And with that, the way you can reach us is we've got so many ways. I got to remember all these now. We got to write these out. The Choice Podcast Show at gmail.com. That's the email. You can hit us up on Facebook Messenger at The Choice Podcast Show on Facebook. You can go to YouTube and leave some comments, I guess. Matty B might check them. I'm supposed to say something like clicking a bell on YouTube.
Yeah, like and subscribe. But we also, if you scan the QR code, if you're watching this live, it'll take you to a link where all of our socials are right there. Click of a button, easy for you.
Yeah,
Drop
we don't
us a
have
follow,
Instagram
like,
yet. We will,
subscribe.
maybe. Yeah, like, subscribe, do the thing, and tell a friend, fellas. Like Mike here said tonight, go talk to somebody, tell them about it, and then maybe this is something they could use. All right. Yeah. So we appreciate you joining us. Do we look at the cameras when we say this, Josh?
We do.
Thanks for joining us, and I'm looking
Thanks.
at you. And
Yeah, we're looking at you.
And with that, remember this, friends: men of the world follow trends.
Don't
but men
lick
of the
windows.
And men of the faith, don't lick windows and follow truth.
Make your choice.